There's not too many could carry the ball 90 yards in Croke Park.
And were you telling people over in Lincoln about this player back home?
I was, yes.
Yeah. Now, you seem to me, Paddy, to be a bit of a stubborn type, that when things didn't go your way, you went the opposite way.
I wouldn't say I was stubborn.
Anyway, on that down team that day, Jarlath Carey was on.
Jarlath played.
And a man that made history later on. In 1960.
Kevin Musson.
He was on that day that you made your debut.
Yes.
They were all there. Now, they're both here tonight, Jarlath Carey and Kevin Musson, two famous down men, Bula Bossagor and Verchin Ahornic. They want you to be here tonight as well. So, do you feel like sitting down for a while again? Now, Angela, I don't know, do you call her Angela or Angle? Anyone with that name down in Kerry, we call them Angle. What do you call her?
I'll have to call her Angela.
Yeah. Now, that's back in the 50s. And there was another of those senior players who's here tonight as well, P.J. McElroy. As better go duch P.J. McElroy an Ardán in ish. P.J. McElroy.
You're welcome today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was wondering, was his sight okay? Yeah. Now, P.J., I remember you in the very early 50s playing Sigerson Cup football and everything with UCD. You were a down player before him. When he came onto the scene, could you tell us what sort of talk, or did he create any ripples of excitement early on?
Well, what can be said about the man that hasn't already been said, Micheál, you know?
But what was being said when he appeared first, or was anything being?
Well, I don't sort of remember very clearly, but everyone in the county knew about Paddy Docherty.
That he was exceptional?
That he was exceptional. He was an instinctive player. He never had any football coaching like most of our team between the Abbey, CBS and Uris and Coleman's College. Paddy was a total natural. It's just football genius just oozed out of Paddy. That's about all I could say.
Now, the successes of 60 and 61, how major a role did Paddy play in those?
Oh, sure. Very major, if that's the right way to describe it. Paddy had probably the best, as Mick O'Dwyer said in his book, Paddy had the best left leg in the game. And you were always sure, I don't know whether Paddy was ever held scoreless in any game. He was just, you depended on Paddy to lob them over the bar from all angles. And the more awkward the angle, the surer was the score. And in fact, Paddy could have taken a point running across in front of the goals with the, just side-footed it over the bar as well.
Always the left?
Always the left.
So would the words, the bold fiend men, we may have good men, but we'd never have better.
Exactly.
Would that describe that man?
Exactly. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
No
Good
doubt.
Amelia Mahagat, P.J. McElroy, marvellous football revolution here. Paddy, could you answer the question he posed? Were you ever headed scoreless?
I was, yes, in the championship final against Mary Mitchell's.
Do you want to stand up again there? That others, yes.
In the championship final against Newry Mitchell's. I don't know how he managed, but Kevin O'Neill held me scoreless.
Yeah. Where was the referee from, Paddy? Yeah.
It was Newry Mitchell's.
Oh, yeah. Should that explain?
It should.
Now, his answer tells a lot. He remembers the one time that he was held scoreless. Now, while you're here, Paddy, in 1955, Ballykindler annexed the county championship at junior level against red-hot favourites Ross Trevor. There was a very distinctive figure in goals that day. Can you remember that? 55, Ballykindler beating Ross Trevor in the junior final. The goalkeeper. Now, he was a clergyman.
Father Alec.
Father Alec. Now, he had an unusual duty to perform, didn't he?
He had, yes, Paddy McCulloch.
He was the goalkeeper now for, yes.
Paddy McCulloch dropped dead, Lord have mercy on him, at that match, and we were leading 18-12, and Ross Trevor wanted the match off, but Father Doris says Paddy McCulloch will know Ballykindler was winning, so we were going ahead.
So he had a very clear picture of the whole situation.
He had, yes.
Yeah, satisfactory.
Very satisfactory.
Yeah. Now, we'll move on, Paddy, now to 56, and Ballykindler became the first, I find it hard to believe this, is it true, the first club in Down to open its own grounds. Every club in Ireland have fantastic grounds nowadays, but this says here, Ballykindler became the first club in Down to open its own grounds. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, there was three of Ballykindler officials, Harry Crossgreen, now they're dead, James McCashin and Tom O'Hare. The three of them's dead now, but they bought the land of Fanny May for to build houses. But I think Harry Crossgreen must have been the idea out behind it, and Harry decided they would build a pitch, a football pitch. And P.J. Walls was the man that levelled the ground and all. And we were to play Derry in the match, a challenge match.
A big official opening.
Big official opening. The pitch was named after Teague Barry. He was killed trying to escape out of Ballykindler camp in the 20s or 30s. And I think they had some tell him there last week, but I couldn't attend, for I was away down with the president down in Cork. So, but I remember the Ballykindler, Down was playing Derry, and they all set up that night just to keep an eye out that nobody cut the post down on us for weather.
Now, that couldn't have happened.
Well, we have a few good friends down about Minorstown might have done it.
So you stayed up all night?
Well, I didn't.
You didn't? Yeah.
I was sent to bed, but...
but you got other people to stay up all night?
Well, they stayed up to make sure the pitch was all right for Sunday.
Yeah. And you played Derry?
We played Derry and we beat Derry. But then as soon as the match was over, I had to pull on the Ballykindler jersey because we were playing in the first match in the 7th.
On the same pitch?
On the same pitch.
So right away without any break?
Oh, I suppose maybe I didn't do too much against Derry. I was thinking about the 7th.
Yeah. But you beat Derry just as well, and you weren't held scoreless, no?
No, I wasn't, and we won the 7-2 for Barry.
Yeah. A Borden winner. Now, on the Derry team that day was Jim McKeever, who went on to have many a great tussle with you, and he played for a while with Downpatrick, and also played with you on the Ulster team. Now, Jim is here tonight, and his great midfielder colleague of later years, Phil Stewart, Mickey Gribbin is here, as well as former Derry teammates Leo and Jerry O'Neill. A very strong contingent came from Derry to be here with you tonight, Paddy.
Very good.
Tommy de Bolliger, now, you always seem to have a little bit of grow for soccer. Where did that start?
John Maitner's that long away.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Charlie Oakes and Jerry Burns was over, and Bill Oakes was Lord of Mercy's dead too. Bill was a scout for Lincoln City. And I decided I would try my hand at the soccer.
But had you played much soccer?
I played an odd match in the camp there whenever the soldiers were short of a man there. Or
Now, under what name did you play soccer?
Well, I played under my own name at...
You're right, Paddy Docherty, was it?
I played one match before I went to Lincoln City.
Yeah.
It was on a Saturday evening. We played the Army down in Rathkelder Park, and I scored 5 goals and missed a penalty. And
Were you the top scorer?
I was top scorer that night anyway. But then I went to Lincoln, and we trained every bit as hard as the Lincoln City. They were in the 2nd division then, but I never got on the first team, and after 8 weeks I decided I would head for home. And I'd already wrote to Father Dara to say that I didn't think I liked it. And Father Dara minded well. He sent me on £10. He says, you be home if you don't like it. There's plenty of room for you at Ballykilner.
So you came home?
I decided I would come home. But my uncle Henry now, he came up that Saturday night to Lincoln, and he went to the digs where it was, and the woman says, you're too late. He's away home yesterday.
Yeah.
So Bill signed me for Ballyclare Comrades, and I played half a season for Ballyclare. And it was
Scoring goals again?
Well, I scored a few.
Now, Paddy, were you suspended for all that? You had to be, because it was very much against the rules to be a member of the GA at the time and to be playing soccer.
But we had good men in Down that seen that I wasn't suspended for too long.
Now, don't be pointing at Morris Hayes over there. Yeah.
But
Now, you had to be suspended for a year. That was the sentence. But you say it wasn't for too long. How long was a year in County Down?
6 months.
6 months. Yeah, okay, we leave the soccer. At that stage, you were starting to make real progress with the Gaelic as well. And in 1958, the Ulster Junior Championship won, and you were on the team. Now, you had some great names of that team. Junior, Ulster champions of 58, Kevin O'Neill, Leo Murphy and Tony Haddon, who were destined to be part of the great successes to come, and they're all here tonight as well. Ní Richardson Cowilshire, tá Kevin O'Neill, Leo Murphy, agus Tony Haddon in North Aigan and St. House. You can't pick them out there. You'll meet them later. Now, there was another Ballykindler man on the team. Do you remember? A Ballykindler man on the junior team of 58.
There was Paddy Farrell.
Paddy Farrell,
Yes.
Good player.
Very, very good player. Once if Farrell wasn't playing well, somebody gave him a kick, and there's nobody with a bit Farrell after.
Yeah. Were you the person that maybe gave him the kick and not?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. You told someone to do it.
But Farrell was a good halfback.
Yeah. Now, you didn't go on to the All-Ireland victory that year. It was a good junior team. How come it didn't win the All-Ireland? What went wrong?
Well, you mentioned the man there, just a few played goals for Ballykilner. He was on the county board at that time, Father Dara, and he decided that would play both junior and senior. But I think he was overruled by the members of the county board that the whole outfit would have got suspended. So they took 8 of us off the team. But I think in the long run, we were going to win a junior All-Ireland. But in years to come, we won 3 senior All-Ireland, so I think they made the right...
So the strategy won?
It worked,
now,
yes.
things were beginning to move on, because in the same year, Down won the Ulster final against Derry, beaten in the final, and there was a mix-up in transport that day, and one star player didn't make it to the match. An Ulster final, can you imagine? A player didn't make it. Yes. What went wrong?
Well, the quiet man on the team, George Lavery. George was a brilliant player. George was left behind somewhere in Marlin or somewhere. And George's brother was keeping goals for the minor team. And when he heard them giving out that George hadn't arrived, he let a goal in. But Down had a habit of leaving players behind. I was left and George was left. But after that, they caught a bit of sense and there was nobody left behind.
Now, George was hoping to make it here tonight. There might have been, would you believe it, transport problems tonight. We don't know whether George made it tonight or not. Did George Lavery make it? With Shane out in St. Holland. He intended to be here, but we believe that there were words about transport problems again today, but he missed it that time anyhow. Now, 1959 was the big step forward. Down beating Cavan 216 to 7 points. Cavan, the great reputation they had. Down's first senior Ulster title. Now, it must have been a fantastic feeling, Paddy, winning Ulster for the first time and beating the mighty Cavan at that. What do you recall about that day?
Well, it was a step in the right direction. We played terrible well against Cavan. We were training in Bonbridge, and we really only realised when we went the following Tuesday night to the training. Every place was decked out with red and black, and there was no training that Tuesday night. There was a bit of a celebration. So we must have won the Ulster for the first time then.
So a real celebration?
It was, yes.
It didn't work out in the semi-final, the All-Ireland semi-final in Croke Park?
Oh, it didn't because of Purcell and Stockwell. They learned us a lesson.
And you were willing to learn. Was that a part of the secret of the Down team?
We were willing to learn. I think maybe Morris seemed to think that we're a year too soon. But we thought we could beat Galway, but we learned the hard way.
It didn't work out. He mentioned the great Galway team. There's one of them here, and maybe more later, but Brian Geraghty is somewhere here, and I know that Brian came back from the continent to be here tonight. Bulagas Agor, Brian Geraghty of Galway. Paddy, you began to move outside the country at that stage, and there were many famous games in Wembley. And there was one in particular. It was against Galway, and the great Galway team, they were awarded a penalty, but it was missed. You should remember penalty. Do you remember anything about that? The penalty in Wembley?
Did I take it?
No, a penalty for Galway. A penalty for Galway. You don't remember
No,
that?
I don't remember.
Now, Sean Purcell took a penalty in Wembley against Down, and for once in his life he missed it. But would you believe, Paddy, that one Sean Purcell of Galway, some people say the greatest footballer of all time, once he heard that you were being honoured here tonight, he said, I'll be there. I met him at Harold's Cross last night. He was on his way at that time. The great Sean Purcell of Galway. Now, what do you remember about Sean Purcell? Now, fantastic footballer. How would you describe Sean Purcell, the footballer?
Well, I would safely say that Sean was the best I have seen. And I've seen a whole lot.
Now, people would be interested in why you thought he was the best you saw. What was different? What was special about him?
Well, there was no dirt in Sean. Sean was a very clean player, and he knew where the goals was and the crossbar. And Purcell and Stockwell was the terrible twins. So they learned us a lesson that we didn't forget.
And you,
But Galway had an outstanding team.
yeah.
And any time I fell out with a Kerry man, it wasn't too often now,
Yeah.
but if I fell out there at a match, I would have said, well, you're nothing about at all in the 60s. Galway won 4 and Down won 3. There wasn't much left for you.
So anytime you meet a Kerry man, you remind them of that, yes.
Well, if he was cheeky with me...
Oh,
I
if
did,
he was
but-
getting
but
a
he
little-
wasn't, no, they weren't cheeky. They were very good sports.
And how did Kerry people take things like that as a rule?
Well, the way we looked at it in Down, they were the kingdom of Kerry and we were the kingdom in Down. And to win in All-Ireland, you had to beat Kerry. And I think if we hadn't been knocking about in the 60s, probably Kerry would have won 3 more All-Irelands and they would have ruined Gaelic football. They were getting too many.
So Down came at the real time to save Gaelic football.
We did.
Yeah. Now, at that, we are going to take a break, and we'll all enjoy dinner, because there's a lot more to be said and to be listened to from Paddy Docherty. It's great, Paddy, and your chair has been taken.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Nevin.
Near to Banbridge town in the county down, one morning in July, down a boring green came a sweet calling. She smiled as she passed me by. Oh, she looked so neat from her 2 white feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing elf, I had to shake myself to make sure I was really there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the sweet calling I met in the county down. Oh Mary, this London is a wonderful sight, where the people are working by day and by night. They don't sow potatoes, nor barley, nor wheat, but there's gangs of them digging for gold in the street. At least when I asked them, that's what I was told. So I just took a hand at this digging for gold. But for all that I found there, I might as well be where the mountains of Mourne sweep down